All right, everybody. Welcome in to Fox 35 Weather Plus on this Thursday. Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Laurel Blanchard here, and it is a very pleasant day out there. It is absolutely gorgeous outside today. A little bit more on the cloudy side, but we are going to continue to see a little bit more of that sunshine peek out as we head into the weekend. So a nice stretch of weather for the next couple of days, and then get ready for a cold shock to the system as we take a look ahead into next week. So that's mainly what we're going to be focusing in on today. We got our question of the day coming up, and so we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. But we have your personal forecast here, right in your plans that you have for the rest of the work week or the weekend ahead, and we will give you a personalized forecast just for that. So definitely let us know what you're planning over the next couple of days so we can give you an accurate forecast for those plans. So here's what we're looking at over the next couple of days. It is definitely going to be on a beautiful side, but over the next couple days things are going to be on the chilly side as well, especially Monday, Tuesday, slowly starting to rebound. Taking a look ahead a little bit later on next week. But for the latest, here's what we're looking at outside. We'll start there and we'll take a look at our question of the day today. And again, join in on the conversations. I have our Fox local page up. We are on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. So we are going to focus on that, and then we'll talk a little bit about the tropics. I see Christina writing in on our Facebook to asking about hurricanes. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, but let's start off with our question of the day today. And this actually, I had one earlier. I wasn't necessarily a fan of it, but I was talking to one of our engineers a little while ago, and he was talking about how his dog got his name. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. So pet owners, write in the comments, how did your pet get their name? We would love to know. I have a dog named Honey. Honey was not her original name, the name that I adopted her with from the shelter, and we'll kind of go into that a little bit later on. TJ is here today. He's filling in for Noah, and he has a dog. His dog's name is Gizmo. So I would love to know what allowed you to kind of pick, or what kind of inspired the name for your pets. So let us know in the comments. Again, we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube. Feel free to write in. We will show your comments a little bit later on in the show, but I'm excited about this one. We love our animals here, so we are going to kind of show them a little bit of love today, which I'm very excited about. Okay, switching gears ever so slightly, because last night was a supermoon, and if you were watching Good Day Orlando earlier on this morning, we saw those tides high. 8 a.m. this morning, it was just Daytona because there was absolutely no beach out there. 76 degrees out there on the coast. You can kind of see that cloudiness if you take a look closer to the horizon. This is low tide. Usually this is where we see our high tide, or right at the start of this post right here. But today we're seeing those low tides significantly higher than what we normally see because of that supermoon that we had last night. And that is the closest supermoon that we've had in the year of 2025, which is producing those large waves and those high tides that we are seeing out there today. So 8 a.m. was the high tide this morning. 8:14 is going to be the high tide for later on tonight, and we're still going to be seeing those temperatures stay on the cooler side, but those waves are going to be high throughout the next couple of days. And with that, just because those tides were so high, we are also going to be seeing that chance of life-threatening rip currents, and we'll talk about that in a little while. But you can see here over downtown Orlando, it's kind of hazy out there. We're kind of seeing those fall silvery skies out there, and we're going to kind of continue to see that at least through the rest of the evening. A little bit more of that sunshine tomorrow, so that's something that we're going to be kind of clocking in a little bit more. But we are expecting a boundary to kind of keep those clouds around as we take a look at the weekend, maybe a couple of spotty showers as we take a look at the weekend ahead, especially on Sunday. So Sunday, might want to have the rain jacket handy, but luckily those rain chances aren't looking high at all. So that's good news right there. Storm tracker radar. Right now, we are seeing a couple of scattered showers, mainly down more closer to the Bradenton area, down in southern Polk County, southern Osceola County. You're going to be seeing some of these showers throughout the rest of the evening into the overnight tonight, but anywhere basically south, north of Orlando, so Gainesville, Ocala, Daytona, Palm Coast, Deltona, areas especially like north of the I-4 corridor, you're going to stay dry through the rest of the evening. It's mainly just areas across Yeehaw Junction, Palm Bay, anywhere in Indian River County. All of this moisture that we're seeing over by Bradenton and Venice is going to kind of continue to push eastward, and this is why we're going to be kind of having that lower rain chance through the rest of the evening. So something that we're going to be tracking, but luckily nothing crazy. This isn't going to lead to any ridiculous rain totals like what we saw a couple of weeks ago. It's just very light rain of what we're seeing out there right now, and we're going to continue to monitor that, especially because, again, those areas that were just stuck in that training just a couple of weeks ago, it was just storm after storm after storm. Those areas quite literally got as much rain for what we see in Florida in a year in just in a couple of hours. So that is something that we're going to be monitoring, especially if we are going to be seeing that rain totals in Titusville, Cocoa Beach, and areas across central Lake County. Mount Dora is still seeing flooding, so something that we're going to monitor, especially if we are expecting rain, but luckily very low rain chances for the next couple of days. And we have TJ here.
Hi.
He just got back from our meeting. Here, you want to jump in?
I would love to.
Absolutely. Come on in.
Thank you.
Okay, question of the day today.
Question of the day. Okay. Okay, I totally missed it.
We'll talk about this a little bit later on.
Okay.
But to get you thinking, how did your pet get its name?
Oh, that's a really good question, Laurel. So I have to say it's all because of the movie Gremlins. I'm like, like when I saw Gizmo, I'm like, he's like a little mogwai. He's a little gremlin.
He is.
I won't feed him after midnight. No, I fed him after midnight. He was good. He didn't turn angry, which was good. But
he didn't have like those like little scary ones.
Yeah, so that was he was so dark when I first got him. He was really dark brown, and he's kind of lightened up as he's gotten older. So now he's not
he's
quite
got a
as
little white mustache now.
Yeah. So that was my. Now, did you already talk about how you got?
So I'm going to talk about that a little bit later
great.
on.
Okay.
We're waiting for a couple of other comments coming in.
Oh, fun.
But
Perfect.
I figured you'd want to get into the conversation.
Oh my gosh, you know I'm always down to get into the conversation.
And we're going to be talking about those cooler temperatures coming up after the break. We're going to have a quick break and coming up in a couple minutes. A couple of scattered showers today.
Yeah.
And through this weekend, maybe seeing a scattered shower or two. We'll talk about that after the break.
It's great. It's gloomy out there.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a little bit of sun, but I feel like it's definitely been not as pretty.
Feeling like fall, which I'm okay with because I always used to love those like silver skies in New England, and I feel like that's just like a little bit of the season kind of setting in, even though it's 85 degrees out.
Yeah, I know, that's so crazy. I grabbed my like fleece today. I'm like, I don't need it, but you know what? I'm in a fall mode, so I'm just gonna grab it anyway.
See, but that's the thing. It's so nice outside, but then when you come in the studio, actually, it's a little on the warmer side.
It doesn't feel as bad today,
Crazy
yeah.
enough right now here in the studio, but usually it is freezing. Like my poor little fingers turn blue.
Oh my gosh, I know. We have blankets. We have our heavy jackets. We are always we don't have usually I feel like most studios don't have heat.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, we just kind of bundle up when we can and where we can.
And there's so many computers here, so the AC just needs to be cranking 24/7.
Lots of equipment.
Oh yeah, for sure. So we're going to take a break in a couple minutes. We will talk about the cold coming up, but we kind of talked about what we're in store for the rest of the week. We'll take a look at the weekend. So if you do have any plans coming up this weekend, write those in the comments. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. We're seeing a couple Facebook comments come in. We will show those a little bit later on. But yeah, it's going to be cold.
I feel like this is going to, especially having it so warm ahead of this system, it's going to be a shock to everybody's system, I feel like.
Was it Aerosmith that does a Shock to the Heart?
Oh,
or is that
I'm thinking of I might be thinking of the wrong song. The Bon Jovi, You Give Love a Bad Name.
It's
yeah.
Bon Jovi,
yeah.
Right. But yeah, that's what we're going to be.
I had that album back in the day. I don't know what happened to it, but I had that album.
It is going to be a shock to the heart.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back on Fox Local, YouTube, and Facebook and get in on the conversation. All right, everybody, welcome back. We are going to be talking about the weather of what we're going to be seeing for the next couple days, because get ready. We are going to be on a high with this roller coaster, and then it is quite literally going to be how the Rip Ride rocket launch was. You are going to go straight up and then straight down, because it is going to be a plummet for sure. So let's get into a little bit of the nitty gritty. And again, if you have not answered the question of the day yet, how did your pet get their name? And again, this was quite literally a conversation just before we popped on that we had with one of our engineers. He was talking about how his dog got his name, and I thought that would be a perfect question of the day. So write in on Facebook. We are live on YouTube as well. I'll be switching between the comments, and we'll take a look at that a little bit later on. All right, so here is what we're looking at for the next couple days of weather. Again, really stressing the fact, especially if you live by the coast, it is going to be chilly through the next couple of days because the wind is going to be blowing, but also more importantly, those tides are going to be high. We can see here, this is low tide right now. That water is really going to be rushing in at 8 p.m. About 8:14 is when we're going to be seeing the next high tide. 76 degrees out there right now, 8-mile-per-hour winds. We can see some scattered showers down by Yeehaw Junction, Bradenton, and then we're going to continue to see those tides stay on the high side through the weekend. So heads up, any beach plans, go during low tide, because there is not going to be really any beach at least through the weekend. We are looking at a high risk of dangerous rip currents on tap at least through the next couple of days after those waves kind of start to die down after that supermoon effect kind of slowly starts to calm down as well. So rough surf, 5-foot waves going to be starting to move in, and high risk of dangerous rip currents on tap through the weekend at least. Speaking of the weekend, here's what we're looking at. Temperature is going to be lingering throughout the upper 80s, and then we're going to slowly start to see those temperatures tank, taking a look at Sunday. So Sunday and Saturday, it's the warm before the cold, pretty much. So we're going to be seeing those temperatures throughout the upper 80s on Saturday. Sunday, we're going to be seeing a couple of scattered showers here and there. Boundary is going to be making its way across the region, kind of ushering in some moisture, sparking off a couple of scattered showers on Sunday, cooling our temperatures down ever so slightly. Compared to the cool down that we're going to be expecting, this is going to be nothing. But heads up, especially if you think 70s are chilly. We had that question a couple days ago of when do you think those temperatures start to feel a little bit cooler? Oh, I hope you're ready for this, because usually this is a graphic that we show in January and February, not at this point. So the polar vortex, a strong surge of cooler air, is going to be making its way down and across the Appalachian Mountains, down into the southeast, and this is what's going to tank our temperatures. Taking a look Monday, Tuesday, even into your Wednesday, and crazy numbers are going to be popping up, so just heads up. So here's just kind of an overview. Here is this boundary you can kind of see over Texas and Louisiana right now. This is going to be kind of an occluded front that's going to usher in some moisture, but it is this cold front that's going to be moving in on Monday that we're going to be expecting a couple more of those scattered showers to roll in, maybe a thunderstorm, but it's the cold air behind it that is the main story. So here's what we're looking at. That much cooler air is going to surge into the region on Tuesday. And the reason why we're going to be even seeing those temperatures cool down even more, because not only are we going to have that cooler air moving in, we are also going to be seeing a cloudless night. So clouds kind of act as a little bit of a blanket to the atmosphere. They kind of trap the heat that was built in during the day, and they quite literally act as a blanket. So you usually notice that when we have more of that cloud cover, our temperatures stay more on the mild side versus when it's a crystal clear night. All that radiational heat just completely gets lost to the atmosphere because we don't have a blanket. So Tuesday morning, we are not going to be having anything. There is not going to be a cloud in the sky, and as that cooler air pushes in, that's what's going to drop our temperatures significantly as that cold air just absolutely slams into the region. So here's what we're looking at. Let's take this through nice and slow. Usually normal average high for this time of year, upper 70s, low 80s, and just take a look. So areas especially across the Midwest, this is that colder air already surging in. So 41 in St. Louis on Sunday. And then as we take it through time, here's Monday, 30s in Birmingham, 22 in Lexington. These are temperatures that we normally see in the middle of winter in these areas. And then it just continues to push down. So Monday is when we start to see that cooler air kick in, and you can just see those temperatures dropping like a rock. I'm going to stop here. This is Tuesday morning. Whew. 32 in Montgomery, Alabama, 34 in Tallahassee, 46 in Orlando is what we're going to be waking up to Tuesday morning. And then that cooler air is just going to continue to kick into the region, and we're slowly going to start to warm up. But it is going to be chilly. We are going to be seeing highs in the mid 60s, which is normally our highs in like middle of January and February. So this is quite literally going to be a cold blast and a little bit of a taste of winter for about 48 hours before we start to warm back up. So a heads up, next week, especially Tuesday, is probably the coldest day that we've seen since easily January or February of this year. So that's kind of the timing of the cold air. And just to kind of put this into a numbers perspective, this is what we're looking at. Temperature is going to be in the mid 60s Friday, even Saturday and Sunday morning. So perfect for any outdoor activities. Monday, we cool down a little bit, temperatures right around 60 degrees, and then it just tanks. We go from temperatures in the 60s through for overnight lows down into the 40s. So it is quite literally just a roller coaster up and then the absolute slam down as we take a look at the next couple of days. So heads up, you will need that to break out that winter jacket. Taking a look out there Tuesday morning. We're going to take a break in a few minutes, but just to kind of wrap this up before we kind of switch gears over to the tropics and take a look at your comments, this is what our Tuesday lows in the morning are going to be. 30s in northern Florida, central Florida going to be throughout the upper 30s and low 40s, and lingering throughout the low 40s as we take a look towards central southern Florida as we take a look at the next couple of days. So reason why I mentioned this is because reptiles, especially iguanas, like to hang out in trees during this time of year when it gets cold because they're cold-blooded. They can't survive, or they kind of go into this stunned mode in temperatures under 45 degrees. So we could be seeing a chance of not only scattered showers, especially on Monday, but also maybe a chance of some falling iguanas because it is going to be so cold Tuesday morning. So heads up for that. You may see a couple of iguanas out there just kind of laying around, but they're not dead. I promise. They're just a little chilly. We're going to take a quick break. We'll take a look at your comments, and we'll take a look at how to take the best picture of the moon out there tonight, coming up in a few. All right, everybody, welcome back. We are taking a look at our activity for the next 7 days in the tropics. We'll touch upon the tropics really quick, but one thing that I do want to say is that we are going to be taking a look at your comments. So answer our question of the day: how did your pet get their name. So, switching back gears to our tropics conversation that we're seeing out there right now, no activity expected for the next 7 days. We in Florida have been really lucky this year. We have not had a hurricane impact us. But the season is not over yet. We are still watching a couple of zones out there, but no activity expected is for the next 7 days. So here's what we're looking at. We're going to be continuing to monitor those conditions out there. We are still seeing some warm spots in the Atlantic, and we do have the possible chance of some sort of development in the Southern Caribbean over the next 2 weeks. So National Hurricane Center takes a look at the next 7 days. The Climate Prediction Center takes a look 2 and 3 weeks out, and we have the possible chance of something brewing in the Southern Caribbean, taking a look towards the middle of November, and then taking a look at the end of November. We still have that possible chance, but Melissa really cooled down the water, especially in the areas across Jamaica and Cuba, so that is doing some sort of help. We are still seeing some extremely warm ocean water in an area of not so abundant shear, which is definitely the 2 ingredients that we are needed in order for a tropical storm to brew. We kind of just need that circulation. So that's kind of what we're just keeping an eye on in the Caribbean through the rest of November. Because again, we only are a couple weeks out from the end of hurricane season, so fingers crossed, things should start to quiet down very soon. All right, so there was a supermoon last night. We got a lot of pictures of folks, and it's still going to be looking full as we head through the overnight tonight. But heads up, king tides are still going to be impacting us through the rest of the overnight tonight. So 8 p.m. is when you're going to need to watch out, because those tides could be up to 7 feet. And when we had another supermoon at the beginning of October, those tides only came up to about 5 feet. So heads up, over the next couple of hours, 8 p.m., 8:05 p.m., and Trident Pier, Port Canaveral specifically. This is going to fluctuate, especially up towards Daytona, where we could be seeing 6 to 7 foot tides. Closer to the Canaveral area, we could be seeing about 5 to 6. We're going to be seeing about 4 foot tides in New York Port Canaveral as we head through the next couple of days. And then Friday, they're going to be even higher as that surge just continues to push in. So heads up, especially if you do live along the coast, kind of putting some numbers to that conversation that we had a little bit earlier on. So that's what we're looking at. And again, with those king tides, we saw an immense amount of erosion at the beginning of October. So we are going to not only see a high surf risk, at least through the weekend and through parts of next week, coastal erosion, as well as life-threatening rip currents. So personally, I'm a strong swimmer. I would be staying out of the water if I were you. If you do have any beach plans, maybe just hang out on the shore, but there's plenty of areas that you can walk around, especially boardwalk areas that are much more fun than probably the water. Surfer's paradise though, so if you know how to surf, these are definitely conditions for you. So let's kind of get into our question of the day, and if you missed it, it is what inspired the name of your pet? And TJ, who's right over here, you kind of talked about how Gizmo got his name earlier on. And so, again, if you would like to write in the comments, pet owners, how did your pet get their name? And we would love to know the story about that. But TJ, I want to bring you in because you have a dog.
Yes, and you have a dog.
I do. Let's bring you over here.
We both have doggos. We're both dog lovers.
And I'll pop up a comment that we have, because this is so sweet. We have somebody writing in on our Facebook page. And I'll pop that up in a second. But yes, your dog is inspired by Gizmo, the gremlin.
Yes. Yeah, the movie Gremlins, if you've never seen it, I feel like it's one of those kind of cult classics. But
Gizmo is the cute gremlin.
He's the good gremlin.
He's a
good
Gizmo.
Mogwai. Yeah, I feel like he's the one that saves the day. So
yes.
I saw
and he's
him.
Very cute.
Thank you. He's a sweet boy. Yeah, he has a stroller.
He does.
He does have a stroller. I was like, thanks, Mom.
He's very cute, though.
Yeah, I'm one of those dog parents, I guess.
You just love him greatly, though. That's
we
the thing.
We do. Yeah. We have Gizmo and 2 kitties at home, so we're a nice blended family.
How did your kitties get their name?
So actually, that was all Eric naming the kitties.
Aww.
So they're unique names. River Song, and Erebus. So
that's cute.
Yeah.
So Lauren Campbell wrote in on Facebook that she says that she has a kitten we recently got named Rue.
Oh, I love that name.
Loved to be swaddled like Rue from Winnie the Pooh. And Kanga, the mom, and Rue is her baby son. Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
That's adorable. Oh. Yeah, Kanga and Rue. We were a big Winnie the Pooh family.
I loved Winnie the Pooh.
Wasn't Winnie the Pooh sweet?
Yes.
Oh, bother.
That was good.
That pretty good?
That was good.
Yeah, my brother probably liked Winnie the Pooh even more than I did, but
So
yeah.
cute.
That's
I love
so
that.
sweet. That's great. I love that, Lauren. That's wonderful.
Yeah, so Honey, I adopted her from the shelter, and her shelter name, they had a whole bunch of dogs get rescued from a really rough
Oh, I hate that.
situation.
Yeah.
And so what they did, excuse me, is that they named all of them after Shakespeare characters.
Oh, I love that, Laurel. Okay,
Excuse
okay.
me, so sorry. And so what they did is they named Honey Cordelia, and a whole bunch of other siblings, I guess, that she came in with, like Juliet, Ophelia,
Oh, sure,
Helena, a whole bunch of Shakespeare names. So she was Cordelia when I adopted her, probably at about 8 months old, I think.
Okay.
And I couldn't pin down a name for the longest time because I was thinking Nala, maybe like Disney related.
Oh, Nala's cute.
Nala was cute. I was thinking Hazel, but I just kept, for like 3 days that I had her, I was like, I don't know what to call you. So I was like, oh, honey, baby, like just generic loving names.
Uh-huh.
And I brought her into my last station, and there was a guest that came in, and she was making pies for all of us.
Okay.
And she was like, oh, this dog is sweet like honey. And I was like,
There it is.
There
That's
it
your
is.
name, sweet girl.
so she is Honey.
I love that. That's a really good story.
And she's
You're always
honey-colored, so it's just perfect.
She is, yeah. She does remind me of Honey when you look at her. Yeah. That's
She's a
great.
good one. But are you ready for this cold? Because I don't know if I am, to be totally honest.
You know what? It's funny. I was just telling. We have some friends that are visiting, not staying with us, but they're in Disney.
Yeah.
And from York area, originally Pennsylvania.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
Laura and I know that area very well.
Yes, we do.
Um,
Go Vel.
Yeah. Woo! Our old alma mater. Our old college. Yeah. They're down in Texas now. So obviously
jeez.
dry but warm. But here I said how like it's changed us. I feel like I get cold so much easier now.
Yes,
living
for sure.
living down here.
It's the humidity, I think.
Yeah, it is, and it's crazy to think about all the scientific factors that play with that, and how it makes things feel definitely more crisp when it's raw and we have that moisture in the air down here.
Yeah, it is going to be a dry cold. So I hope you have the winter gear. I hope you have the sweaters kind of picked out because you will need it coming up on Monday and Tuesday. All right, everybody, have a wonderful rest of the day. Join back in tomorrow, and if you have any weekend plans, write them in the comments. We'll give you a personalized forecast. We'll see you later.
Bye.